So we failed. I won't deny that we failed, but we did. Our 8-turbo Mustang here only made 737 horsepower on the dyno. If you guys haven't seen that video, it's here. And we think that the biggest contributing factor to why it didn't make as much horsepower was our charge setup here. As you can see, it starts in the back here on one side, it comes through and it just kind of keeps logging into one pressurized pipe. And my thought process behind this one pipe was just, it needed to be simple and easy and cheap. And let's just get the boost into a pipe and put it in the motor and see what happens. Well, we found out what happens, and that's why we have these intercooler cores. We've got a couple Mishimoto cores and some other cores that I had ordered that I thought were thicker than they were, but they actually weren't. So these are the cheap Vibrant cores I ordered. They were like 12 inches long this way, 6 inches long this way, and then 3 inches long this way. When I initially ordered it, I was mistaken. I thought it was 6 inches by 6 inches by 12. Which would work fine, but these ones are rated for 200 horsepower a piece. So we laid them down next to this one. This one is actually 10 inches high, 4.5 inches wide, and 10 inches long. Or 9 inches long, something like that. And I wanted something that we could run in a vertical flow pattern. So I was gonna weld 2 of these together, and then these ones as well. We flip them sideways like this. They will also run in a vertical flow pattern like that. Yeah, I know, typical Kyle messing up on stupid stuff like that. These cores were actually meant for Thirst Trap, my girlfriend's car, and we were gonna use them to make a custom vertical mount flow because this is gonna be twin turbos, as you can see there. I might borrow these ones, replace them afterwards, and we'll be left with 2 other cores that eventually can be used on something else. There's always a need for something around here. We just have to make sure that we can get the dimensions that we need with these cores to fit 8 pieces of pipe into it. For example, we actually have to take into account what the outside diameter of this coupler is, and it is 2.41 inches, 18.25. Remember that one time your math teacher told you needed to learn math because they were gonna be like, you're not always gonna have a calculator in your pocket. Joke's on you. 18.25 divided by 8 equals 2.28. So unfortunately, we cannot line up 8 couplers side by side in that end tank unless we make some sort of bottleneck down into the intercooler, which makes it really difficult to put dividers in it because I wanted to do this much like this photo here, where each runner will have its own divider and the first time that the air meets is going to be on the opposite side of the intercooler. But you know what? Let's just take it apart and see what happens. I should have thought about this because I know a little bit about scooping. This side, it looks great because they all scoop this way, right? But we want the other ones on the other side to scoop this way as well. The only thing is the other ones are flipped 180 degrees, so they want to scoop that way. Which ultimately leaves with us with something like this. We can still work with this, I'll just have to put an extra little bend on it to scoop it this way. But yeah, it doesn't scoop as well as the other side. And I left this one off just to show you how small these turbos are. Oh my god, they're so worn out. KO3 right there, right in Chinese. So this is a basic design we come up with. I gave each pipe 3 inches to come into, and this is using the smaller cores here. So it'd be like a V coming into it. The only thing is I try to separate them here. This is like 2 1/4 on the bottom, 3 inches on top, and this would be just dividers on the inside. The only problem I've run into with this setup like this is that if we separate it like that on our core, the first line is here. This one only gets 3 rows. And then between these two is actually 4 rows. And then between this one is also 4 rows. And then between the last two is only 3 rows again. So what I might end up doing is just putting the middle divider So one divider here, and one divider here. So it's 2 turbos going into one, 2 into another one, 2 into another one, 2 into another one. And that's the best solution I can come up with right now for this setup. We're gonna start by tack welding the 2 cores together, which means I do ultimately owe Virginia some cores. And it also means I should probably give a shout out to Mishimoto because they helped Virginia out with these. I will just order the same cores as these ones, but yeah, huge shout out to Mishimoto for sending these cores here. And I like the fact that they'll sell you just cores. That way you can be innovative with your designs, especially if you're like me and you like TIG welding. So we'll jam these 2 things together, not in this orientation, but the other one, but yeah, let's do it. After a ton of metal shavings, I really need to get myself a small vertical bandsaw for something like this. We ended up with something like this. It may not be perfect, but what I did was it's 3 inches wide on top. Each one of these has 3 inches spacing on it, and it's all for 2-inch pipe. So it goes from 3 inches on the top here and then goes down to 4.5. We still have to make a divider in the middle here and then possibly a divider in the middle here. But it came out decent. We'll just use some 2-inch pipe after. Weld a bunch of those things in. And then, yeah, it's 8 individuals into 1 intercooler, which should be a bit better than our log manifold style thing. Oh my god, I totally forgot. While I was editing this, I have big news. We've decided to start making turbos. We have these turbos here in this photo. I haven't seen them yet because Nick is holding on to all of them and he lives like 5 hours away from me. But we're actually going to be making a partner company to BSI for the turbos, which comes out soon. I've been dropping hints all week about them on my like Facebook stuff and my Instagram and Snapchat and stuff like that. But yeah, it's official. These are 88s. If you want more details, make sure to just hit me up in my inbox or something and I'll chat to you about them. But now that we've got this done, we've got to make some dividers for the inside of this thing, which are going to be a little bit harder than I expected because I have to measure the inside. So this is essentially my idea so far here. You can see that we've got this middle divider here. We've already isolated 4 from 4. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make another one that goes from the middle of these 2 down here up to the middle section between all of this. So that it'll isolate 2 from 2 from 2 from 2. The tricky part is that it's 3 inches on the bottom here, 4 inches up top. And you got to try and follow the taper, but the taper on both these aren't exactly equal. So it takes some fine tuning on the belt sander to make it work. Of course it would happen like that, where we literally ran out of argon in both bottles, and Virginia's gone out of town with the truck right now, which is super disappointing because we were just getting to the point where I was welding in this divider right here, and then I noticed the weld getting really, really weird there, and I was like, Even the tungsten was getting really hot, and I was like, oh yeah, look, I just don't have enough flow to keep everything cool. So we've got this divider made. As you can see, we've got this divider made over here. We'll weld that one in second when we can. And then the middle divider, I'm just doing it in steps because it's gonna be way easier to weld this one, and then the middle one. And then that's 2 into 2, 2, 2, and I hope that works out a bit better for us. I could almost get another one in there and go for it? I mean, technically I could probably put another one in there. I wouldn't be able to like weld it fully the same way that I'm welding this one, but I could probably tack weld it in there and just stop the air from flowing. Like, I'm already this far. Do I just go like the extra little bit and make sure that everything is divided? The only thing with putting that divider in there is that it does manage to make our things like this, whereas if we just have one middle divider, we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that side. But if we put the other divider in, you just have to split it up into 4 and 3, 4 and 3, which I don't know if it's going to be worth doing that, or if we just, like I said, 7 and jam 2 through it, and then all 8 out the bottom side. I have decided on a spot for this. It's going to end up somewhere right here. Let's just see if I can find something to put right there so I can put it on top of what I want. So for now, our big bag of garbage. Ow, there's welding rods in there. I just stabbed the shit out of myself. Ow, look, I'm bleeding. So this is gonna go like this. This is gonna be much lower than it is right here. It's just sticking up. But something like that, where each one is gonna be able to run. This one's gonna go into the middle. This one's gonna go in the next one, and then the next one. That way we can kind of make them all, oh my God, look, I'm really gushing. Yeah, this should be down a little bit lower. A little bit lower. This goes, let's just say it goes like this. And then all our pipes come into here. And then I thought about building an end tank where the pipe can either come up and over and in, and we'll turn our throttle body the other way, or go under and behind and then into the throttle body that way. But I think it'd be really cool if we set this down low enough that all these pipes go down, and then we just do like a complete 180 with a pipe, come up over the intercooler, and then into the throttle body that way. I think it'd be super cool. We'll figure something out. Now, I'm not sure if you guys care so much about like the lifestyle, my personal life, or if you're just here for the builds, that's cool too. But for people who have followed the channel for years and know like where I came from and what I'm doing and this whole garage and what it means to me and stuff, it's kind of cool to share the progression in my life so you guys can just keep seeing me grow as a person and stuff like that. So it's super cool. And we've got a huge announcement. We're one step closer from moving away from full-time jobs. Virginia actually put her 2 weeks notice in on last Friday. She has 3 more shifts left at work, and then that's it. She's done her full-time job forever. We made this plan together. She's gonna move into streaming full-time. She also does like some X-rated-ish stuff, which I'm not gonna get into the morality of that stuff. It's completely cool with me. I love it. She loves to do it and has fun with it. So it's just the way things are going. And she's gonna move into streaming full time because she absolutely loves that thing. And then she gave me 1 whole year. So starting from when she quit, 1 year from there, and I'll quit my job 100%, no questions asked, and move into this thing full time. And we'll just wing it. That'll be our leap. So between this boosted lifestyle thing, which I created and I love and I busted my ass for the last 5 years, so it might become to a point where it's sustainable and we can do what we want for fun because you guys as the viewers are supporting me and liking the videos and commenting and sharing, and it means so much to me. And then on top of that, we now have Black Sheep Industries, which I'm super fortunate to be a part of, and I'm so glad that Nick let me into that because not only have we produce this wastegate and blow-off valve set that are super cool and super nice, but but unfortunately still not in stock. Give me a couple days and we'll have some in stock. But we started moving into turbochargers. We just made our first couple 88mm turbos with custom wheels in them, and they look so badass. We made a 76mm turbo, and that's getting put on something else so we can start testing it. And after that, we're gonna start downsizing a turbo, so some T4, some T3 stuff, some like 67, 62, something like that. It's gonna be, it's a wild adventure, and that's where my heart and soul is in that. So if it comes to a point where Virginia quit her job, I'm gonna be quitting my job, we'll move somewhere south, we'll have this nice warehouse where Black Sheep's gonna be in it, Boosted Lifestyle's gonna be in it, we can film, create stupid stuff, and we got all our cool Black Sheep stuff in the same building. It's gonna be, like, my mind is just so happy about it, but we just gotta keep hustling, boys. So, from the bottom of my heart and the true Canadian me, I'm sorry for ranting for so long. So thanks to everybody who bought merch for the welder giveaway. Peace easy and get that V.